Now, I can't start with a diagram because what am I going to draw? Just a number symbol? That doesn't make sense. So I'm going to start with defining the variables. Technically, with all of these, you have to start with defining what x and y is. We did that without words in the dimension problem. Where did I define x and y? On the diagram. So I haven't done it in words, but it is clear that y is this dimension, x is this dimension. So I have to actually start with let x equal, and I'm just going to call it the first number, and let y equal the second number. That's not first hashtag and second hashtag, it's number. Okay, so that's the equivalent to the diagram in the last question.
Don't worry. Keep in mind, this is an international baccalaureate class, meaning that, well, maybe teenagers, we're not that ignorant.
I'm going to deal with the sum on the left, and I'm going to deal with the product on the right. And what do I know about the sum? Equals? What do I know about the product? What's the problem over here? Can I complete the square the way this is now? No. What do I have to get rid of? The y. Exactly the same. This is like your perimeter. This is like your area. It's the exact same question. Get y by itself. Then we're going to come back to the right. I'm going to leave x. I'm going to take out y and put negative x plus 12. What do you think we do next? And then? And then? State the vertex. Okay, step 1, factor out the negative. Magic number.
Plus 36.
Balance it.
Take away 36.
Plus 36.
Binomial squared.
X equals 6 squared.
Constant at the end. Vertex.
Sorry for the interruption. At this time, we're just wrapping up our Student Vote 2016. Any students in grade 9 or 10 who have not had a chance to vote yet, please go down to the front foyer. Again, any students in grades 9 or 10 who have not had a chance to vote yet, please come down to the front foyer. Thank you.
What is x? What did we define x to be? So we now know the first number is 6. How do we find the second number? How did you find it? Where does it come from? The two numbers are? There's a negative already in here. Two numbers are?
6 and 6.
What's this 36 over here? We didn't talk about him.
Area.
It didn't have anything to do with area, though.
It's the
Oh, it's the
It's the maximum product. Question didn't ask for it, but it's there if we need it. Do you see the similarities to dimension? Melanie?
if you got like a negative 36, right, are you looking for a maximum, like would you know it was wrong?
Correct. Yep. Yep, good question. Questions so far? Do you see the similarity? Read to read number 5.
Are we going to do profit or stop after? Ms. Thompson, are we going to stop after the number is in?
Yep. We'll do profit tomorrow. It's good though. Money's good. Are you taking economics next year? What do we need to know? Ooh, what does difference mean? Okay. So what's difference between these two questions? Minimum versus maximum and difference versus sum. So let's see how that's going to change things. First step's going to be exactly the same. What's the first step?
Is this our first example using minimum?
I think it might be. What's the first step? What did we do first in the last one? Yeah, you have to define your variables. Why didn't we do this with dimensions? Because we drew it out instead. You can do it in words for the dimension one too if you want to. Now instead of doing sum and product, I'm going to do difference and product. Okay, how do I show a difference?
X minus y equals 10.
Is it just x minus y equals 10? Because we said let x equal first number.
The first minus the second, yep.
So if we said let y equal first number, would it be y minus x?
Correct. How do I do a product? This is now really our fifth one that's got the same steps. What do we always do now once we've got our equation on the right? Yeah, come back to the left, get y by itself.
So then y equals x minus 2. He said let me go by grandpa. It's not my birthday, it's my birthday.
20, oh yeah, 25. Put it in the whole thing in brackets. Minus 25.
Bracket x minus 5. Did your mom ask you if you do it?
I'm just writing down what you're saying, by the way. So you might want to confirm as we go along.
Again, so in conclusion, we are wrapping up our Student Vote 2016. Any students in grades 11, 12 who have not had a chance to vote, please come down to the front foyer now. Again, any students in grades 11 and 12 who have not had a chance to vote, please come down and vote now in the front foyer in front of the office. Thank you very much.
So what was the difference with it being a minimum versus a maximum? Didn't have to factor anything out. Okay, how did we account for the min versus the max?
I feel like we didn't really do anything different.
We just kind of had a subtract instead of a plus.
Yeah, the question will take care of itself. What kind of parabola is this, up or down?
It's down.
It's down. How do you know? So then it will have a minimum. What kind of parabola was this? Up, so it will have a minimum. So the question takes care of itself, whether it's a max or min, and that's why you need the difference part here was to get an up parabola. So in terms of what you need to do, there's nothing different.
That's quite handy.
Questions, Alva? Are you seeing the repetition? Number 6, more words. There's so many words. What would you like to highlight?
Difference of 16. Any
Yeah, this seems like it's got lots of words in it. Okay, well, let's follow the pattern we did in 4 and 5 and see if we can customize it to this one. First step, you have to define your variables.
Let x equal first number.
Why didn't we do this with dimension?
Because pictures.
If we hadn't drawn a picture, what would we have had to do this? Yes. Okay, now what? Still do difference.
I don't know if you'd still label it as, do you still label it as product?
Does it say product? Well, no, it's sum and product.
So do you write sum and product?
Okay, so we need to make it equal to something, and I only chose P up here was because it's product. If you're not sure, use M for max or min. Don't get too caught up in the variable, but just have it equal to something. So M for max or min. Okay, how do we do adding their sum and their product? So that would be sum plus product. Okay, so sum would be x plus, what's the other number? Y. How do we do a product of x and y? X, y. So that is adding their sum and their product. I got a y. I don't want a y over there. I want x's over there.
Oh, x minus y equals 16.
I'm just writing down what you're offering, so make sure you're checking it as we're going through. What do I do over here when I have two y's? Replace for both. What? Okay. Now what? Got lots of stuff over here. We said positive over here. Somebody want to confirm?
Oh, they flipped. Never mind. It
We're
would have
good?
been negative y, so then it was.
Okay, what do you want to do over here? If you're never sure, always go back to BEDMAS, right? That'll never fail you if you go through BEDMAS. Can we do anything inside the brackets first? Okay.
You can put the x's together.
Okay.
X minus 16.
Can I do anything within these brackets?
Distribute.
So I can do the multiplication here for BEDMAS?
I've just been doing the practices for
Minus 16x.
Wait, where'd the double root 2s come from? Oh, you're doing the everything that. Okay.
I would put it in the order we're used to seeing for a quadratic.
X squared minus 14x minus 16.
Where did the negative 14 come from?
Simplifying the 2x dx.
Okay, fill in the space.
49.
I do not.
And then put brackets around the.
Do we have to put brackets? No, but if you're used to doing it, put it.
Wouldn't we just do the product thing we did before and then put it into the fraction and do the sum?
Nope. We have to do the sum plus the product.
Well, yeah, but like, wouldn't we be adding them in the end? We just
Yeah, that's what we did right here.
away for a bit.
That's what we did right here.
What?
No, somebody yelled.
Fine.
Every time I laugh, it's not at you. You can't assume that it is.
Yeah, well, I'm unbelievably paranoid. So shoot me.
That would probably make you more paranoid.
Not what I freaking need. Guess it means I've wasted a crap ton of crap for nothing.
Just want to talk about one of the homework questions before you get there. What it's going to say is the sum of their squares is a min or a max. I can't remember each one. Sum of their squares. So let's just talk about how you'd set up that equation before you get to it. I would just jot that down where you have room. What does sum mean? What does squaring mean? Yeah, so how would I show the sum of the squares of the two numbers? X squared and y squared. Okay, so when you get to that question, that's what you'll have on the right-hand side. That's the sum of their squares. Only 4 for homework, because I want you just to practice 2 of each type. Tomorrow, we'll do the last type, practice that type, and then on Wednesday, you're just going to have a full work period on the 4 types all together.